everyone? Welcome back. Talking about why Denver's housing market is the next to explode. And we're not talking in a bad way. We're talking 2024 and beyond, though. Stay tuned.
That's right, guys. So let's get right into it here. Get straight to the data. What we're seeing here is more and more people continuing to move to Denver, Colorado. One of the things that we wanted to do in this video is really break down some of the reasons that we think that's happening. Now, there was a recent article that came out about, I think a month ago, where they said that Denver was like the #1 relocation market in the country, right? And actually Colorado Springs was also on there within the top 10. I think they were 8 or 9.
Correct.
But guys, coming down to it, what's so interesting is that the majority of people that we talk to on Zoom calls from out of state that are looking to move here, so many of them don't have a real good reason for moving to Colorado outside of they like it, they love the weather, they visited a family member, they couldn't stop thinking about it, and they just can't.
International airport. I mean, it's literally essentially located in the middle of the country. You guys have international flights to Ireland for God's sake.
That's right.
To Hawaii, obviously anywhere national you guys can go on direct flight. So international travel is super there. And when we talk about the climate, guys, you get all 4 seasons here. We literally had a foot of snow in Colorado 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And within 3 days, the roads were clear.
It's true.
The very next day, the roads were just wet with a little bit of slush to it. Our infrastructure as far as plows and how well they take care of the city is phenomenal. But in addition to that, the sun and the heat come right back out and it melts off, And so you're getting all 4 seasons, but they're never too extreme. So the winter's not that extreme. Summertime, we'll get up to about 100 degrees in August for a couple of weeks, but it's dry heat. It's never that bothersome for you guys. We're at altitudes when it comes to insects. We don't really have a lot. We've got some bull snakes here. We've got some rattlesnakes here a little bit. You've got a couple spiders here and there, but it's so few and far between. We remodeled our basement not too long ago. Well, we finished it. It was unfinished. I didn't see one spider. I don't know if it's altitude or the fact that we're a drier climate. I mean, probably not, because Arizona's a dry climate. That's a desert. And you got tarantulas and all weird stuff there. But so it's probably the altitude. But either way, that's one thing that my spouse and I, we talk about when we consider hey, would we live somewhere else? Or hey, what about Florida? Or what about here? It's we always joke about what kind of bugs they got there. And then we hear people from California, termites.
Termites?
You won't even have a termite inspection here in Colorado when it comes to your inspection process on homes because they're that non-existent, right?
True.
Certain things that you might not think of become very pleasurable the more and more you start digging into Colorado. But that tends to be the common denominator when it comes to when people start considering Colorado, they start digging deeper and deeper. They contact us and we help them and whatever it may be. And the more of these little things they find out, and it starts making it more and more pleasurable or attractive to live here.
It's true. So just overall quality of life, guys, that's the #1 reason people are moving here. And why is quality of life the #1 deciding factor for people coming here? Because our second point is remote working, despite being through COVID and on the end of that, is still very, very much a thing. And a lot of the people that are coming here, they are fully remote working approved, which means if they can live anywhere, they can live anywhere. They're choosing the place that has the best quality of life.
Correct. And in addition to quality of life, part of that they do consider is our property taxes are significantly lower than a lot of the country.
Yep.
Our income taxes are not terrible. Bang for buck, what you guys get in Colorado, even though we are higher than the national average when it comes to just overall expenses. I think we're 30% less than California, but we have less taxes and less property taxes. There's just a lot of great things that you guys get here. Our school systems and education systems when it comes to your families, it's awesome. Even if you don't have families, your resale of your home and where you live becomes attractive because if you are in a great area in Colorado, that becomes a consideration for somebody buying your house. We've talked about that before. By the way, there's not really a lot of bad areas when it comes to school education here in Colorado.
Yep.
On the education side overall. Just some things that we can point you out. We've done some videos on that before, but there's just a lot of things I think when people consider, hey, where are we going to share time with our family? Where are we going to spend life? Where are we going to spend time? It just becomes this totality of a handful of things that matter, and I feel like Colorado checks a lot of their boxes. And speaking of checking a box, we're going to bring this number up below and remind you guys that we are licensed brokers here in the state of Colorado, and yes, just as much as we love making these videos, we would love more to help you with those real estate needs.
That's right.
So that number that's still up below. We are the guys who answer the phone calls, text messages, and those emails. So if we can help you, we would love to, but checking that box. Let's move on and continue with some of our other points for you guys.
That's right. Now, another reason that we think Colorado is just going to blow up as far as the housing market is concerned this year is because we have more millennial home buyers than ever, right? And not only more millennial home buyers, but they're the biggest buying pool that I think there ever has been, even more so than baby boomers. And why is this important? That's because when you're looking at quality of life in a very active state, this is where millennials are wanting to land. And what you won't find here are a lot of the 55 and up active adult communities. You see a couple of those. We've got some in Southeast Aurora, Castle Rock, scattered around, but not like Arizona, not like a lot of these other places where they have entire housing markets based off of that age group. People end up moving to Florida when they're retiring and stuff like that. So a lot of our homes out here are literally built for millennials and their kids and their dogs, and just built for the biggest buying pool of people there ever has been.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got. Now, going on to our next topic here, let's talk job opportunities. If you are not remote working approved, maybe you are getting a new job out here, the amount of tech in aerospace.
So this is something that is big when it comes to why is Colorado housing market exploding? Why is it so popular when it comes to these articles? And when they base these articles off of like data, it comes down to like average time homes are on the market for and who's buying it, where they're buying it from. It's all of those things that matter. And part of this whole article thing that we're talking about, for lack of a better term right now, I'm reaching what I'm trying to say is, because our economy is so good here,
yes,
it allows people to have home ownership. And a lot of folks are moving from other states over to here because of career opportunities that then lead to home buying possibilities, right? So long story long here, the economy has a huge deal to do with how well our housing market does.
All right, now moving right along, guys, let's talk inventory, right? Where you guys want to be a little bit concerned is places that have a surplus of inventory. Places that have a surplus of inventory means you don't have appreciation. It means a lot of times people are having to drop their homes in price.
Drop their home prices.
Drop their home prices.
They're not dropping their homes.
Not dropping the homes. Yeah, no Wizard of Oz here. Drop their home prices. Colorado has limited but consistent inventory, which is like the perfect blend.
We've been in real estate for just under a decade now, and since I've been in it, we've always had what's called a seller's market, right? Because inventory is lower, but you have more buyers, and technically you need 6 months of inventory for it to be a buyer's market, yada yada. We've said it before. We've never had that in my existence of real estate, but what we have had is a 3 week to 3 month, 2.5 month inventory flex that stays consistent. There's always been homes available. There's always been a way to win an offer. There's always been a way to get into the home that you love in the area that you need. It's just about being diligent and proactive and looking for those things, and then pulling the trigger on what you guys want when that moment comes, regardless of where that flex is at. But it's always been possible, even during the 2% interest rate phase, where we had 57 or 62 offers per homes. Ela and I were still averaging 1.5 offers written per client winning a home, right? Some agents were doing 6, 7, 9, 20 offers for a buyer and still not getting approved. You guys have done a great job. We work well and cohesively with you guys, and we were averaging 1.5 even during those times. So there is a way to win, is a way to do it and be a team and be cohesive with that. We just have to be diligent, but it's consistent. So if you don't see something right away, the areas you'd love to be in, it's coming. We've just got to be patient for a couple weeks span. And as those pop up, let's be diligent, let's be proactive and take action toward those, and you'll end up landing what you want.
Well, and that brings us to our final point as far as...
I feel like I said the same thing 3 times.
No, I think that was good, actually.
Is that all right?
You guys, that was good. Cool. Come up below.
I'm like feeling some spacing.
No, and then that brings us to our last point here, guys, where as far as home buying possibilities. Now, I know for a lot of you guys that we've talked to, maybe you bought your first home in California, now you're looking out here and you're talking about how impossible it was to even afford a home out there at all, let alone win an offer.
Yeah.
There are so much possibilities here. And like Will mentioned, yes, we're 30% higher than the national average, but man, for how many
we're 30%
good things,
lower than a lot of your main states, California,
we
Chicago.
And with how much good Colorado has to offer, a lot of you guys are coming here and you're honestly impressed with the type of home that you can get with the views that it has for the price that it is.
For the seasons that you have and the recreation that you guys have. And you
That's
can
right.
have all of that with this number popping up below. And us reminding you that yes, we are licensed brokers here in the state of Colorado. And yes, just as much as we love making these videos, we would love more to help with those real estate needs. So that number is still below. We are the guys that answer the phone calls, text messages, and those emails.
That's right.
We'd love to help you with anything you guys might need. Some blinds that might be blowing around and breaking while you're filming a video. But either way, whatever you guys need, we would love to help you. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you guys very soon.
See you guys.